Welcome to Prajavahini. I'm Archana Swami. Today we are celebrating the 9th edition of Bangalore Poetry Festival at Nagara Sangeeta Sabha. Children's story writer Ashok Rajgopalan with me. When writing anything is a very solitary activity, right? So how do you gain your thinking? No?
Yes, but I'm a very talkative person,
Okay.
and I also allow people to talk. So all my ideas come from all the people I meet. So in my neighborhood, I go for walks. I'm friends with everyone, shopkeepers, tailors, people I meet in the street. So I keep talking to them. My ideas will come from anywhere.
Today children are a lot more addicted or more adaptable to the devices. What do you think as a writer that brings them back to books and reading and making this as a habit?
You can't blame them. When I was a child, we didn't have much screen. We didn't have any screens. So books were the only escape from our usual. For these children, you have to appreciate them if they manage to read in spite of all these screens. So the writers have to become better writers. Like to attract them a little more, work a little harder to make the children read books.
What are your techniques to become a better writer?
Okay. So I'm a funny person. What I generally advise writers is when they ask me, if you are a very angry person, if you're feeling about the environment, write an angry story. If you would like to scare people, write a ghost story, write a horror story if you like to scare people. I like to make people laugh, so I write funny stories. Usually they are popular. That is my personal strategy.
Wonderful. It's my first time in Bangalore after many years, and I've been just surprised by the number of people who are interested in poetry, engaging with poetry, and just like coming for these events and asking very interesting questions. I was at MG Road yesterday, and every bookshop is full of young people finding these very wonderful books and talking, and it's very heartwarming to see that there are cities in India where this culture is being cultivated.
I mean, we see a lot of youngsters addicted to the devices and even the younger crowd, right? So what is making it different for you, for this generation, to pick up a book and read?
I think it's a very different feeling. I think I was sort of raised in libraries and with books, physical books, so it's hard for me to shake that off. I mean, I also, for example, use Kindles very often, so in many ways, I think my generation is torn between these, but I would much rather that sort of, not only my generation, but people much younger sort of read more as compared to, let's say, videos or social media. And I feel like there's a children's festival happening here today, and I was talking to somebody about it because it's full, and there's sort of kids at all ages engaging, having a good time, and I feel like events like this can really tell them that storytelling and books and literature have so much to offer that sort of social media or games really can't.
A brave and wonderful thing to do. It's because all of us love poetry, but very few of us make the time for it in this kind of formal setting, and it's really a great endeavor, and I wish it a lot of many years of continuity.
You have translated Mirabai's poem, so what do you have to say about that today's generation audience?
So I've been working on this series on the mystic poets, and last year I published the book of Bulla, which is the poems of Bulle Shah in English translation. And this year now, in fact, very freshly, I have the songs of Meera for you also in English. And these are such wonderful pieces of our inheritance, and I feel very proud to get them to a pan-India audience who doesn't speak Punjabi or Rajasthani, and to render them in a modern idiom, really. So
it's been wonderful. Yeah, it's been quite an experience. Yeah.
For an artist like you who also write lyrics, who also sing, what is that you're looking forward here at this festival?
Well, my session was yesterday, so I was looking forward to that definitely. But also just this opportunity to be counted amongst poets, because not all songwriters get counted amongst poets. So I think that's a sort of ode and a compliment to my lyric.
What's your inspiration while you write? What emotion kind of drives you the most?
Reflection and sort of upon one's own journey and process. Yeah.
And when you come and meet fellow authors or poets or singers from your field at festivals like this, what is that inspiration that you seek from them?
I think the rigor of people's work, I really appreciate that. And, everyone's creative process is different, so I definitely learn from that, yeah.
All the way from Bombay, how is Nama Bangalore treating you and how is the Poetry Festival being?
My mother was from Bangalore, so I'm familiar with Bangalore since 1979. I've seen Bangalore change, so it's almost like another home city. And the festival is arguably the most wonderful festival I've been to. I love the people, I love the vibe.
Awesome. You also love having people who love Bangalore. So apart from being a part of different literary activities and festivals, how is it different being at a poetry festival?
This is probably the only such poetry festival in the country, and poets across the country, at least us English poets, it's strange that an English poet is the most marginalized poet because regional poets get read a lot more. We don't know where to go with our poetry, so it's very, very special for us. There's a space that people want to hear us read our poetry. It exists, so we want to write more, so it does that for us.
In what way do you think poetry enables you to write apart from the other forms of literature?
Poetry is very inward looking. We write for ourselves. We are our audience. Anybody else appreciates this as a bonus. Every other form, we are thinking about how will the reader understand this, how will the reader receive this. With poetry, we are not thinking that. It's a very personal, intimate process compared to other forms.
Do you think in which emotion you can write poetry better? Happiness or sadness? Like which deepens the emotion or connect towards poetry more?
Neither. Rage. When I'm angry about something, I found the best poetry comes out of me.
Do you also derive inspiration from other poets and authors around you, or is it definitely only inside, as you said?
No, the inspiration comes from all over. The inspiration, of course, comes from other poets and other forms of expression as well. But it's the process of creation that's very intimate when you sit down to create.
I write for young children, and the book I've written is History Unpacked, the Why, When and What of Ancient India. And it's illustrated by Rohit Bhasi, so it's funny, but it covers everything that children learn normally in school, but with a lighter take and simplified a little bit with comics.
Teaching them history would be probably a tougher task. So how do you make it easier and fun for them through your books?
One is just choosing the right stories and choosing interesting angles to get their interest. And then it's made easier because I have a very talented illustrator working with me. So we have comics and that makes it lighter and fun.
So how experience for you?
Lovely. I'm loving being here. It is so easy and I'm meeting such lovely, interesting people. Maza aa raha hai.
You have such huge body of work. There is, I feel there's nothing that you have not touched. So what does poetry give to you?
Poetry gave me release. It gave me a different type of expression. And it gave me the truest form of myself, honestly.
You have exhibited yourself in different forms of art, being in front of the camera most of the time. So how is it being behind something and it's
Wonderful. I love the fact that I can just spend time on my own and I can write. And it gives me so much solace and peace. And now with this book out, gratification.
And how is it interacting with fellow poets and authors in a
My
festival
God,
like this?
these are some tremendous poets that I'm surrounded by. I mean, yesterday I attended You Are the World and I thought it was an absolutely stunning session. And world over, the poets from world over, how they feel. And we're all united in one thing, in how we feel. And so it's really been an eye-opening thing for me and very inspirational for me.
What is your probably the best takeaway from here and from this space?
You know, everything I've said to you is a takeaway because I've met people. It's been a long time since somebody has inspired you, somebody's touched you with their words, somebody has connected with you with simplicity, not just because, and that celebrity word has not come into it. You're here, you're sharing experiences, you're sharing journeys, and it's so away from the glamour and the overtly unnecessary attention. I just like the simplicity of real conversations.
think here you meet people and have a heart-to-heart conversation, right?
Yeah, yeah.